What if I told you DJ Akademiks just claimed Cardi B is pregnant, but not by Offset? Nope, he says it's Stefon Diggs. And that's not even the wild part. According to Akademiks, Diggs might have 4 other women expecting at the same time. Yeah, 4. If that's true, this might be one of the messiest celebrity crossovers we've seen all year. But how did we even get here? Let's break it down. Back in October 2024, the internet lit up when DJ Akademiks made a claim that had fans, haters, and everyone in between scrambling to find the receipts. During one of his now infamous live stream rants, he casually dropped a bombshell. Cardi B, while pregnant with what was assumed to be her 3rd child with Offset, had allegedly been exchanging flirtatious messages with none other than NFL star Stefon Diggs. It wasn't just the boldness of the claim, it was who it involved, when it supposedly happened, and how it completely blindsided everyone who thought Cardi and Offset were working things out. Now, to be clear, Akademiks didn't say there was a full-blown affair or that the two had been caught together. This wasn't about hotel room sightings or scandalous photos. Instead, the narrative focused on emotional cheating, the kind of late-night texting and good morning DMs that start off innocent but gradually cross the line. According to Akademiks, these weren't just casual interactions. He hinted that the messages were flirty, suggestive, and far from platonic. And what made it even more scandalous was the timing. At the time of the alleged messages, Cardi was deep into her pregnancy with Offset's child, a baby they'd reportedly decided to have as a sign of renewed commitment after years of public ups and downs. So the idea that she might have been entertaining another man, especially someone like Stefon Diggs, a high-profile wide receiver known for his own messy romantic entanglements, felt like a slap in the face to fans still rooting for the Cardi-Offset love story. And the internet ran with it. Within hours of Akademiks' stream, the story had taken on a life of its own. Reddit threads popped up analyzing every interaction Cardi and Diggs may have ever had, from likes on Instagram posts to overlapping tour and game dates. The narrative began forming that Diggs had been circling for a while, possibly DMing behind the scenes, and that this wasn't just a new connection, but one that had been simmering under the radar. To add fuel to the fire, outlets like the Express Tribune, Clutch Points, All Hip Hop, and The Sun quickly picked up on Akademiks' statements and began spinning their own versions of the story. While no one had hard evidence, the idea was suddenly out there. And with Cardi's reputation for clapping back and shutting down fake news, her silence only made things more suspicious. She didn't immediately deny it. In fact, for several days, she said nothing at all. And in celebrity culture, sometimes silence speaks louder than 1,000 tweets. Fans were left wondering, was she hiding something? Was this just another messy internet rumor? Or was there a truth hiding beneath the surface that neither party was ready to admit? And while the claim never escalated to accusations of physical cheating, the idea that Cardi may have emotionally checked out of her relationship with Offset, while pregnant no less, struck a nerve with fans. It opened up conversations about loyalty, respect, and what it really means to be committed in the spotlight. But as wild as that moment was, it was just the beginning. Because not long after the messages were mentioned, something happened that made everyone look twice. Cardi didn't just ignore the rumors, she eventually responded, and her reaction only made things more complicated. When the rumors first started swirling, everyone expected Cardi B to come out swinging. This is the same Cardi who once snatched a microphone mid-performance to shut down a fan. The same Cardi who's gone on live streams to defend her family, her career, and her name without holding back. So, when DJ Akademiks accused her of trading flirty DMs with Stefon Diggs while pregnant, most people braced themselves for an unfiltered, profanity-laced response. But what they got instead was surprisingly calm. Cardi didn't respond immediately. For days, she let the internet spiral on its own. Twitter, or X as it's now known, was flooded with threads dissecting her every move. Fans were pointing out cryptic that February 2025, the whispers had turned into camera flashes. It all started on Valentine's Day in Miami. That's when Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were first spotted together. Not by accident, not in passing, but on what looked very much like a date. The two were seen arriving at a high-end South Beach club around the same time, both dressed to impress and clearly trying not to be seen, which in celebrity logic usually means you want to be seen, just subtly. Paparazzi caught the photos within hours. Diggs, fresh off a playoff loss that left his NFL future in question, was dressed low-key but sharp. Cardi, on the other hand, wore a fitted red dress that screamed "I'm not hiding." They weren't exactly holding hands, but the body language didn't lie. They weren't just friendly. There was chemistry. And the internet, which had been waiting for something concrete after Akademiks' earlier claims, finally got it. This wasn't just an emotional connection anymore. Something real was unfolding. After that night, the sightings became more frequent. A few club outings here, a couple of low-key brunch photos there. Stefon was spotted in the background of Cardi's friend's Instagram story during a night out in Atlanta. Cardi was caught backstage at a Diggs-hosted charity event in Los Angeles. Every time fans tried to say it was just a coincidence, another coincidence popped up. Then came the Met Gala in May 2025, the unofficial red carpet of celebrity relationships. While they didn't walk together, smart move if you're trying to soft launch, their timing was suspiciously close. Cardi arrived just minutes before Diggs, wearing an outfit that broke headlines for its boldness. She gave her usual animated interviews and didn't mention him once, but inside the afterparty, according to multiple reports, they were inseparable. Insiders claimed the two were seen sitting in a VIP corner for most of the night, laughing, whispering, and looking every bit like a couple enjoying the chaos together. While there were no official photos of them cozying up at the event, leaked footage from someone's private story showed what looked like Cardi resting her head briefly on Diggs' shoulder. A small blink-and-you'll-miss-it moment that sent fan accounts into overdrive. Was this the soft confirmation, or just more fuel for a fan-made fantasy? The real confirmation came not in a statement, but in a seat, a courtside one. In late May 2025, Cardi and Stefon showed up to a New York Knicks playoff game together, walking in side by side, no disguises, no security buffer. The MSG Jumbotron even caught them mid-laugh during a timeout, sparking applause and confusion from the crowd. Cardi waved. Diggs gave the camera a quick smoke. There it was. Confirmation without words. That courtside appearance changed everything. It was no longer a question of whether they were together. It was now about how long it had really been going on. Had they started during her pregnancy with Offset's child, like Akademiks implied? Was this a rebound, or had it been brewing for months? The internet started combing through old posts, comparing travel schedules, analyzing lyrics and live interviews. Everyone wanted the full timeline, and no one could agree. But one thing was clear. Cardi and Stefon weren't hiding anymore. Their relationship, or situationship, depending on who you ask, had moved from rumor to reality. And while most celebrities try to ease into public romances, these two had gone from 0 to 60. The flirting that started as gossip was now a headline relationship. But with all that visibility comes pressure. And it wouldn't be long before the same public that hyped them up started asking questions. Because just as quickly as things heated up between Cardi and Diggs, everything suddenly went cold. Just when fans were starting to accept just when it seemed like the Cardi B Stefon Diggs situation had quietly fallen apart, Cardi did what only Cardi can do. She flipped the narrative on its head with a single post. After nearly 2 weeks of silence, social media purges, cryptic captions, and fans assuming the worst, Cardi returned to Instagram. Not with a statement, not with a breakup announcement, but with something nobody saw coming. A reposted video of her and Stefon Diggs working out together. No filters, no drama, just Cardi in leggings and a hoodie, sweating it out while Diggs helped her through reps like nothing had ever happened. The video looked recent, and it wasn't subtle. Cardi made sure to tag him and included a caption that was short, sharp, and loaded with intent. "Y'all do too much." Just like that, the breakup rumors hit a brick wall. Was this damage control? A subtle flex? Or was Cardi trying to send a message without having to explain anything directly? Whatever it was, it worked. Fans were immediately thrown into chaos. 1 minute, she's scrubbing her profile clean, and the next, she's casually reminding everyone that yes, Stefon Diggs is still in the picture. And clearly, they were still spending time together, enough to record a private workout session and make it public. But Cardi wasn't done. Later that same day, she went live, and this time, she wasn't laughing off the rumors. She was pissed. With her signature mix of Bronx accent, rapid-fire delivery, and zero patience for online speculation, Cardi told her followers exactly how she felt about all the he said, she said flying around the internet. "We're not officially broken up," she said, staring straight into the camera. "Everybody wants to play fucking detective. Like, mind your fucking business. Y'all act like relationships are supposed to be perfect just 'cause we're famous." She didn't confirm whether they were on a break, whether the deleted photos meant anything, or why the silence lasted so long. Instead, she leaned all the way into frustration, not just at the press, but at the fans who assumed they knew everything based on what they saw online. Y'all see one unfollow and think it's World War III. People have real shit going on. We're grown. It's messy sometimes. That don't mean I owe anybody an explanation. Then came the signature Cardi shutdown. Shut the fuck up. Go touch some grass. Live life off the fucking phone. That line alone went instantly viral. Memes, TikToks, and edits poured in. Go Touch Some Grass became the unofficial anthem for celebrity privacy in 2025, and Cardi's live racked up millions of views within hours. Some fans applauded her for defending her boundaries. Others called it damage control for a relationship that had clearly hit a rough patch. But regardless of which side you were on, one thing was obvious. Cardi wasn't ready to let the public write the ending to her story with Diggs. At least, not yet. What made her response so interesting wasn't just the attitude. It was the contradiction, the deleted photos, the video repost, the fiery denial without clarification. It created a gray area, a relationship status that was somehow both not broken up and not picture perfect. And in a way, that gray area only made the situation more fascinating. Because in the world of celebrity relationships, black and white answers are rare. And Cardi, always unpredictable, always her own boss, was perfectly fine living in the in-between. The question now wasn't just, are they still together? It was how much more. At this point, the Cardi B Stefon Diggs saga has blurred the lines between gossip, speculation, and actual reality. And now, with pregnancy rumors thrown into the mix, the confusion has only deepened. The internet caught fire again when DJ Akademiks, never one to shy away from chaos, casually reignited his original claim that Cardi B might be pregnant and that Stefon Diggs was the father. But this time, he added an even more explosive twist. According to him, she wouldn't be the only one. Akademiks suggested that Diggs might have gotten multiple women pregnant around the same time, as many as 4. And in the world of messy celebrity drama, that was like dropping gasoline on a wildfire. But here's the catch. Despite all the noise, all the reposts, and all the sources close to the situation, there's still no concrete evidence that any of it is true. Let's break down the facts. As of now, there is no credible confirmation that Cardi B is pregnant again. She hasn't announced anything publicly. There have been no baby bump sightings, and no reputable media outlet has verified the claim. In fact, outlets like People, The Sun, and Hot New Hip Hop have all reported on the drama strictly from the rumor angle, noting the speculation, but stopping well short of confirming any of it. Even DJ Akademiks himself, after stirring up the conversation, hasn't followed up with anything solid. No photos, no receipts, no new commentary, just a vague bombshell dropped into the algorithm and left to fester. And when you look at Cardi's actual life timeline, the math doesn't quite add up. Her youngest child, her third with Offset, was born on September 7, 2024. That baby, now just under a year old, came during what many believed was a reconciliation period between Cardi and Offset. After years of on-again, off-again headlines, cheating scandals, and public breakups, the birth of their third child was seen as a symbol of healing, a fresh start. Cardi even shared emotional posts at the time about family, forgiveness, and starting over. Since then, there's been no official word of another pregnancy, no hospital visits spotted, no mysterious maternity breaks. In fact, Cardi has been active, touring, filming, attending red carpet events, and notably, working out, as seen in the video she reposted with Diggs in early July 2025. If she were pregnant again, she'd be doing a remarkable job hiding it. And then, there's the 4 other pregnancies, claims surrounding Stefon Diggs, arguably the messiest part of this entire rumor storm. Again, let's be clear, there is no public confirmation that Diggs has fathered children outside of his current known family. No court documents, no paternity suits, no IG models coming forward with timelines or sonograms. Nothing that would normally accompany this kind of drama. That hasn't stopped gossip blogs from running wild with the story, but it does put everything in a very gray, very speculative zone. For now, it's all hearsay. It's also worth noting that Diggs has remained completely silent on the topic. Not a single tweet, not a single denial, not even a veiled reference to the rumor. And for a man who's been known to subtweet or drop cryptic lines on Instagram when things get heated, his total silence here feels intentional, maybe even strategic. Meanwhile, Cardi is moving as if nothing has changed. She's still showing up to events, still posting bold outfits and dance routines, still throwing shade at the media when necessary. If there is a pregnancy, she's either hiding it extremely well, or it simply doesn't exist. And given the pressure, speculation, and invasiveness that follows her every move, the fact that there hasn't been even a hint of visible confirmation speaks volumes. So where do things actually stand? At this moment, All we know is that Cardi B is a mother of 3, all with Offset. There is no public proof she's expecting again, no confirmation that Stefon Diggs is the father of any future child, and no evidence that he has 4 more babies on the way with other women. The current status of her relationship with Diggs is murky at best. They may be not officially broken up, but they're also not exactly flaunting their love like they were just a few months ago. What we do know is that public curiosity, speculation, and the viral nature of these rumors aren't slowing down. And in an era where attention is currency, sometimes the line between what's real and what's rumored is exactly where celebrities want it to stay. Blurred, mysterious, and just intriguing enough to keep you watching. But here's the real question. If none of this has been confirmed, why hasn't it been denied either? And that leads us into the final twist. Because with Cardi B, silence is rarely the end of the story. So where does this all leave us? It started with a single claim. DJ Akademiks casually tossing out the idea that Cardi B and Stefon Diggs had exchanged flirtatious messages while she was still pregnant with Offset's child. Not physical cheating, he said, but emotional. Enough to raise eyebrows, spark speculation, and get people digging. At first, it felt like just another internet rumor, the kind that comes and goes. But it didn't go. Instead, it snowballed. From that one accusation came a full-blown tabloid saga. Public sightings, secret dates, Valentine's Day in Miami, matching appearances at the Met Gala, and eventually, the courtside Knicks game that made their relationship undeniably real. The emotional rumors had turned into a very physical, very public romance, but just as quickly as it became official, things started to crack. Cardi scrubbed her social media, unfollowed Stefon, and went dark. Fans jumped to conclusions. Blogs screamed breakup. Then, out of nowhere, she reposted a video of them working out, like nothing had changed. She told the world, bluntly, they weren't officially broken up, slammed the media, and told everyone to shut the fuck up and touch grass. And just when that drama started to settle, the rumors flared again, this time bigger, bolder, and more bizarre. Was Cardi pregnant, and not by Offset, but by Diggs? And even wilder, was Diggs also expecting kids with 4 other women? It sounds like a plot twist pulled straight out of a soap opera. But in 2025 celebrity internet culture, that kind of chaos thrives. But let's be honest, there's still no hard evidence confirming a pregnancy between Cardi and Diggs. DJ Akademiks hasn't updated his claim. Cardi hasn't confirmed it. No one has come forward with receipts. Cardi's most recent child, her 3rd with Offset, was born in September 2024, and there's been no visible sign or reliable report suggesting she's pregnant again. The 4 other women rumor, also completely unverified. What we're left with is a digital cloud of speculation, fueled by a relationship that moved fast, got loud, then went suddenly quiet. One that still might be active, or might be over, depending on which post you believe, which caption you interpret, or which live stream you catch at the right moment. So, is she really pregnant by Diggs? And what about the 4 others? That part, the juiciest, wildest part of the whole story, remains completely unverified. What do you think?